Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Stepup Banners for New Year's and whether you should save, summon, or which banners you should consider pulling the trigger on. Now how the Stepup Banners work is relatively simple and there's quite a decent chunk of value in them. You can do 3 rounds of the banner, and each round of the banner will cost you 200 dragon stones. In total, that means you can spend 600 dragon stones per banner and get yourself some pretty good characters. Now, the 10th character of every single step is guaranteed to be one of the featured characters for that step, but the step can also include any other characters on the banner. So for example, on step 1 you could still pull, in theory, a unit from step 5 of the banner. Step 1 is 20 dragon stones, and on the extreme side of the banner it will feature some pretty good Easy A extreme units. All of these units are pretty good, except for maybe into Golden Freezer, and all of them are really rock solid. The next one is the 30 stone step banner. This one has a guaranteed LR, and in this step of the banner, I would say most of these characters aren't too great, but probably the Rose and Zamasu, the Android 16, 17 and 18, and the Cell are probably the best. In step 3, on the 9th step of the summon, you are guaranteed one of the general banner units from the list below. Out of all of them, I would probably say Jason, Berta and Raccoon and Gildo are the best ones, considering a Ginyu Force team. But realistically, the general banner units are probably in the OK category. The SSRs added in here are pretty good, with the Int Perfect Cell being added as an LR as an option to obtain, but probably the AGL Cell and the AGL Captain Ginyu and the Tech 17 and 18 being the best choices. In the next step we have another guaranteed LR, that being one of the general banner units. We have some pretty good choices there, with Janemba probably being my favorite out of all of them. And then finally in step 5 for 50 dragon stones, again we have a general banner where I would probably say the Cacao and Diaz are maybe the best one here. And from this one we can pick up some relatively new Dokkan Fest units, with the highlight being the Int Piccolo Jr., who's probably the top choice alongside the Hellfighter 17s. Now overall the extreme banner is pretty good, but extreme teams do not get as many buffs as superclass teams. For me, the extreme side of the banner is relatively good, but the big question about the extreme side of the banner, at least from my perspective, is that the buffs to the teams are a little bit less regular and a little bit more inconsistent. The LRs are quite nice, with Merge Zamasu, Super Boo, and the Corrupted Rose and Zamasu being pretty good, but the extreme banner always has less value due to the infrequency of extreme buffs. Now on the super side of things, we have very similar structure, or obviously the same structure to the summon mechanics. So it's all structured the exact same way. However, this time we have some interesting choices in the 20 stone bracket. I think both 20 stone brackets are very comparable. You have AGL Zamasu on the extreme side, who's really good, but you also have on this side AGL Gogeta, Int Future Gohan, and the Strength Kaioken Goku, who kind of balance things out a little bit. I think overall the 20 stone side on the extreme side is probably the one side I think that is better than the super banner, and so I would suggest considering that. In terms of the Extreme Z LRs, you do have the LR 16, 17 and 18 on the extreme side. Here you do have some pretty interesting choices. The AGL Super Saiyan Goku is pretty good, God Goku is pretty good, but the other 3 are a little bit inconsistent. DB Seekers need some help, Strength Beerus and Whis need some help, and then you also have the SS3 Goku, who hasn't got his Easy A yet. Step 3 is where things start to look up for the super side. Both the general banner units are a little bit better overall than the other banners, and you have some really good DFE picks, starting with Int Yamcha, who's really solid and leads a very good category in Earthbred fighters. And the general banner units, you have really nice picks like Pan, who's going to be a really solid pick overall. and can really help out a lot of teams. So for me, this is where things start to pick up for the super side. Physical Goku, Tech Pan, and the Strength Goku Gohan and the AGL Gohan are all really great picks that I think make step 3 where the super banner starts to pick up. Step 4, you get the choice of getting, well, not the choice, but you have the ability to obtain Strength LR Belma. I think that's a very crucial play for this step of the banner, as she's still one of the best units in the game and really excellent. We then have the Goku Gohan, who's also pretty good, the Piccolo Goku, who's also pretty good, the Strength Kaioken Goku, who's probably a bit better off than the Tech Vegeta. But yeah, I would say overall, this side of the banner is where things start to pick up for the super side. Although I do think Rose, Master, and them are still a very good pick comparatively. Then we get to the next step, which is obviously the final step. Here you can pick up World Tournament Goku, a super unit comparable to the Int Piccolo Jr., an incredibly good unit who I think people should really consider. Great lead, really excellent, excels in his own right. The general banner units are pretty good on this side, and then you get into just the flat out better super class units. We have AGL Kale, we have Super Saiyan God Goku. All of these units are just better than the extreme variants, lead better teams, and are just solid. I think Tech Bardock is probably the weakest unit on the roster on this side overall, and then obviously you comparatively have Cooler to the AGL Goku and Vegeta, but Cooler's team is starting to fall off slightly, although Cooler is probably the better pick. I think the banners are generally well balanced, however I would suggest going for the super banner, just because super class teams get buffed a little bit more. Overall, for 1200 stones, you could summon on both banners all the time, and you would guarantee yourself in total something like 12 Dokkan Fest LRs, and you'd also get yourself a ton of great leads and units. These banners are awesome for new players and veteran players, and anyone who's realistically missed a couple DFEs from the last year. Give it a go if you really want to. The next unit up for global is Super Saiyan Trunks, so unless you're super interested in him, you're going to get a lot more value out of your stones for the New Year's banner. It's just going to be one of those great step up units. But yeah, that's basically going to be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know which banners you're going to be summoning on, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.